Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our soulful morning, our Saturday spiritual morning. Let's go inward a bit more deeper. Today I'm in the house of Sanena Agarwal, and it's been magical. Yesterday, I found the crystals for her. They were delivered at the hospital. One of my teachers came to the hospital. She did Akashic reading for my brother-in-law. She did healing for him, and Sunena channeled her energy. I got a vision in my Akashic reading session with myself. I saw Sunena completely, Rubaru, and I saw her being healed by our ancestors, our common in-laws ancestors. And I was given permission by my brother-in-law to go in the ICU and place and tape the crystals on Sunena's near her neck because her brain and her heart are in question. And I spoke to her. And when I saw her, I was validated how masters are now channeling everything through me. And I could see her clearly. And when I saw the vision of her, I asked her sister that does she look like this? And when I explained and everybody heard, I got the permission to go inside. So everything has to happen for a reason. And Supriya yesterday became, Supriya Sunena's sister, she yesterday became the channel for me to heal my soul sister, my co-sister. And it was beautiful. Today is 9th, the day of Shani, the day of Karma. And today at 9 a.m. we are doing Havan, and 8 to 8:45 I will be healing Sunena in the ICU. So some more healers are joining me in the hospital. They'll be outside the ICU. And we are looking for signals. No matter doctors say whatever, they give up or do whatever. We are very sure as a family that all your healing, which you have been doing since Monday, and all the healing of so many people who are doing it from all the healing channels that I know of, or others and others and others. And when I come here, I realize there's so many people doing yags, havans, pujas, upais, healing, belief, chanting, with so much of sacred energy pooling in. So Nena's soul is left with no choice. And that's good news for us. She'll have to bounce back. And today, once again, this sacred morning, let's start this beautiful session. I'm no longer in the car. I came yesterday. I was guided to come yesterday. It took me 5 hours to traverse, but I did come. And an entire magical thing happened in the evening. I'm going to be going today from here at 10:30 back to Delhi because I'm being channeled not to stay in Pune for too long because my energies are very high. There shouldn't be a mix-up. I just follow the guidance given to me for 8 to 9 to be in the hospital, which I will be. And then today I was given a guidance to have a Havan at 9 o'clock and do the Mahamrityunjay part, which was again channeled by one of my teachers yesterday who'd come to the hospital. So together we will be sitting and chanting. And if you are available at 9, wherever you are, I'm very happy to share the shlok and the chant that we will be playing while the Havan is on, while we sing along, chant along. So if you can do that wherever you are, I would really be grateful. You all have the votive of Surena, and now you'll have the chant and 9 a.m. So if you can set your calendars, if you're free, please join us in the secret healing, because today we are looking at miracles and magics and all our beliefs coming true. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everybody. Very, very grateful. Let's start a beautiful morning. Let's close our eyes, fold our hands in gratitude. Feet firmly placed on the ground below or cross-legged. Let's center, balance, align ourselves by taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Release all anxiety, all fear, all tension. Inhale hope, praise, gratitude. Let's take a deep breath in. Praise, and gratitude, patience, and faith is what we inhaled. And we're holding it in our tummy, letting it go into every cell, molecule, fiber of our being. And ever so gently, we start exhaling all possible lurking doubt, hopelessness, everything just going out. And the last time for this morning, take yet another deep breath in. Expand your consciousness by inhaling in higher consciousness, higher healing powers. And as you release, drop all false ego and trauma that's stored in our bodies, in our subconscious mind. Once again, dear healers, let's hold hands and sit in a circle of love and light. Imagine Sunena Agarwal in the center of our circle. Today, the circle is a very close-knit circle. It's a 7 feet circle with 5 healers on the outside, depicting the 5 elements of our being, and the other healers in the concentric circles outside the healer of 5. In the center is our Sunena. And now, as you keep seeing healers joining you, behind you, joining hands, sitting down or standing, keep grounding yourself with the touch of the Mother Earth, Ma Gaia, Prithvi, that heals us, nourishes us, nurtures us, that shares the bright light with us. As the circles keep getting increased, we shrink like the light being smaller and more powerful. So even thousands of healers as souls can be in the 7 feet huge ball of radiant purple divine light. Our hands are joined, depicting oneness. And now, let's all invoke the sacred purplish, bluish, healing white light from heavens above, coming to our being through our soul star chakra, which is 18 inches above our crown chakra. See the light percolating in your being. Our hands are folded, and we are so grateful for this beautiful flow of light in our being. It's activating our crown chakra, our third eye chakra. Today, it's also activating our pituitary chakra, another chakra. And all these chakras are perfect alignment with the crown chakra. So the third eye chakra goes a little inside, and the pituitary comes a little inside. And in the center of our being, these beautiful chakras are getting brightly lit. Further coming down, our throat chakra enhances its color, its radiance. Further coming down to our heart chakra. Then, beautifully, our solar plexus chakra gets enhanced. Welcoming all other healers who are joining us. Just join us and follow the words. We're sitting in a purple orb of divine light. In our center is Sunena Agarwal. You can remember her from the picture that is there on the group. And we all seated around her in concentric circles holding hands. So find your place wherever you think you are ethically placed and be seated. We're sitting on bare Mother Earth, which is a part of the orb to give us foundation. Our sacral chakra gets brightly lit. Our root chakra gets brightly lit. And this beautiful light is flowing through our legs and into Mother Earth, Ma Gaia again. And Ma Gaia, in return, shoots her golden healing light through our ankles, through our calves, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our entire back, our entire front. All the chakras are getting more brightly lit. And this energy is flowing into our hands, fingers, and into our neck, our shoulder. And this energy is pooling around the back side of our head, near the pituitary. Feel the energy flow, crisscross all directions. See the lighting of your chakras, your energy centers. See your hands activated. Our hands have duplicated. One is praying near the heart, one is holding on the left side of the healer, one on the right side of the healer. So we are blessed with 4 hands at the moment. Brilliance of light is inside each one of us. Now look around yourself in your spiritual ethereal world and see all the pillars of light activated in every healer. In the center, beyond them, further behind, all the pillars of light activated. Now Sunaina Agarwal is sitting in the center. Those of you who wish to see her lying down, you can. I'll describe how she looks. I had a vision of her yesterday, which I described as mentioned before we began the meditation. She's lying down on this hospital bed with her head elevated. Her hair are combed back, they're oiled, they're little curly, totally black. She adorns a red bindi in the center of eyes. Her eyes are closed. Her mouth is partially open. There's a pipe going out of her mouth, which is taped to her left side of the cheek. There's another pipe on the right-hand side. Near her neck, on the left-hand side, there is a scar, a big scar, where the surgery must have happened. She's bloated up, swollen, pretty much like 1.5, 1.7 times of her original face. Her body and hands are swollen. She's wearing this beautiful bluish checkered gown. The pillow under her is white. The sheet under her is white. The sheet on her is white. Her hands are kept on her thighs. Bloated, but there. Her heart has a mechanical breathing. When I kept my hand, it was mechanical. Her head is cold. So now, each of you, keep you've been blessed with a third set of hands now. One is praying, one is holding hands with all the healers on the left and the right. And now this third set of hands that you're blessed, they are magically extending, and you've placed your left hand on her heart, right hand on her forehead, third eye chakra. Some of you are placing your left hand on her forehead and your right hand on her heart, depends on which side of the bed you are in. And some of you are placing your hand on the forehead and your other hand on a chest by coming in from the top. Because your hands are magically elongated, so you can come from all directions. Wherever you're seated, you're seated. But these hands are doing the magic. And one hand on top of the other, one hand on top of the other. We have millions of hands, one on top of the other. Though we're not millions here. But our energy is multiplying so much in this beautiful universe of healing. And the 5 elements in our being, our energy, which we ignited so beautifully in us with the pillar of light. Now that the hands are placed on our heart and our brain, all the hemorrhaging residue, damage, is getting washed away with this beautiful healing energy. Her heart, which was not beating to its full capacity, has all of a sudden become expansive. Her soul is fighting back to come now. And now let's see her soul star chakra, 18 inches above her head, get ignited. Her crown chakra is ignited. Because masters are healing her along with us human healers, our spiritual beings. Her third eye chakra is ignited. Her throat is ignited. Her heart chakra is ignited. Her solar plexus is ignited. Her sacral is ignited. Her root is ignited. Her entire body is lit like a light body, bright, radiant. And the energy is flowing. The Ida and the Pingala nadis, which are crossing at every chakra, Ida goes on the right and the left and the right and the left. And Pingala goes on the left and the right, crisscrossing each other in energy circles. They are getting so brightly energized with this beautiful energy flow. And the minute these are full of energy, they're inducing energy in the Sushmana Nadi, the center, the core of our being. And that is flowing so beautifully throughout the chakras from one to another, connecting all the dots. And Sunaina's chakras are like orbs, round spheres. So powerful, so magical. And the blood is flowing beautifully in her body with no hemorrhaging, no stopping, nothing, no clots. The excess water that is there in her body is just getting drained from her feet into Mother Earth. Ma Prithvi is a healer. We're all healing this beautiful divine being in the center of our being. And once again, let's speak to the soul, her soul. Dear soul, Atma Namaste. The highest in me bows to the highest in you. And this prayer is for all of us. Each one of us is duplicating the prayer. So you can again repeat. The highest in me bows to the highest in you. Now see the soul, bright, effervescent, radiant light. You can imagine it now inside a being from the crown chakra and the third eye chakra where they intersect inside. That's where now the soul is placed inside Sunaina's body. Let's again repeat whatever our soul wishes to speak to Sunaina's soul. Once again, I will initiate this beautiful healing. Now just imagine that all of our masters, angel guardians are flying in from every possible place and entering this sphere because they are love beings, light beings, so they can enter this divine protection sphere so beautifully. And the purple divine color has become even more brighter with so much of divinity enhancing it. Each of our masters, each of our angels, each of our guardians, our spirit guides, our mentors, our teachers, our gurus, in whichever realm they are residing in, have descended upon in this beautiful mere 7 feet. Now this orb is growing into 9 feet with their expansion, with their coming in. Balancing all the Navgraha, all the 9 planets. And today being the 9th, today being a Saturday, being the day of the Shanivar, all the karmic debts that each one of us is carrying is getting into the world, beyond ourselves, outside of this sphere. We are all detoxing. And remember, our one set of the hands are placed on Sunaina's heart and her brain. We are helping her detox all the karmic baggages she's carrying as a memory in her subconscious mind, in her past lives, and from her heart. We all have become channels of her detoxing. Through her, through our hand, it's going into the purple orb, outside it into the universe, never to be found again. Keep decluttering, cleansing your bodies, your subconscious mind, your heart, your soul. Get it lighter. All the karmic packages are you're just letting them go. They're stored up in layers and layers of your body. Just release them. Now you've developed a fourth set of hands. And that fourth set of hands is facing downwards, like an abundance pose, but towards Mother Earth, the way Lakshmi Ji blesses, gives. And all the excess karma, which was and baggage, is slowly leaving your bodies and going into Ma Prithvi. And Ma Prithvi is a giver. Whatever we give her, she gives us love in return. Mothers, you can give them whatever. Anger, anxiety, any kind of judgment, any kind of negative talks, but she will only give you love and light. And that's what Ma Prithvi is doing right now. We're giving her all our excess baggage because we are no longer able to hold it. But she is just blessing our body through our feet with so much of healing energy. The more we heal Sunaina, the more we get healed. And any dis-ease in your body, any aches and pains in your body are also leaving your hands, which are facing towards Mother Earth. See the drain, complete detox, soulful detox. At a soul level, we are detoxing, releasing any pent-up negative energy, any presence of any dark energies in us. Just release. And now, as you're releasing, each healer's aura is becoming brighter, like a light. Now see the light around your bodies. So beautifully lit. The more we give, the more we get. We gave healing and we got healing. And right now also we are healing and we are being healed. Isn't that magical? See the surge of energy in your beings. And any aches and pains that you were carrying, today after the session, you will find that you've released them all. Or they would have diminished to such a magnificent quality. And you can share about that in WhatsApp group. I'll be very happy to read them. You can send audios, you can do it in the mass group because that multiplies, that energy will also multiply. The more we give, the more we get. We share our story of release and we hear stories of release. Isn't that beautiful? Now, once you think that your release is over and there's nothing more which is flowing out of your hands, this new set of hands which you were given, the fourth set, goes back into your being, goes back into your body. It grew from your body, it's going back into your body. It's a new gift that you've been given. The hands that are on Sunaina come back into your bodies. Just rub your hands off, shove them off. Any negativity which you're carrying just gets into Mother Earth again. Rub this set of hands. And this too goes back in your body. The third set has also gone back into your body, integrated again with your body. And the second set of hands is holding all healers. So detach yourself from all healers. Again, rub this set of hands. And shake off any negative energy which you may be carrying. Again into Mother Earth. Again, rub them. Now you're holding complete. This set of hands also integrates back in the body. Now the only set of hands that you have is your hands which are in prayer mudra in front of your heart. Now with deep gratitude, bow your heads. Let's all bow our heads in gratitude towards the higher self of Sunena. And let's converse with bent heads, bowed heads. Let's converse. Let me start and then all of you can do the following. You can all do it quietly in your houses at the same time. The power of prayers, talks is absolutely magical. Dear higher self of Sunena, I believe you're a masculine energy. Though they say souls are just energy. Yesterday I channeled them and I thought it was a very heavy, dense, strong, egoistical energy. That's the baggage that you've been carrying for lives and you've become obstinate. I need to just leave now. It's my exit plan. But dear energy, we all, especially 5 in the center of the healing, the first layer of the healing, we 5 request you, and the others also start requesting. We send our divine feminine energy to you. And please accept it with love and light. A mother is a healer. A mother is a giver. You, dear higher self, have a feminine bright side, which is now getting activated. And you, as a mother, will never be so selfish. So you can't leave Mother Earth just yet. This reincarnation as Sunena has given birth to 2 beautiful children, has tied the knot with a beautiful man, so love-filled inside and outside. You have these beautiful parents that you chose as a soul level to love, respect, and serve. How can you not serve them and leave Mother Earth? Your duties are not yet over. Especially you've lost your brother and now your 2 sisters. So you need to be there for each other and for the couple. You, dear higher self of Sunena, you have a younger sister of this incarnation of Sunena. How can you leave her alone in this world, grieving for the brother already, and now you want her to grieve for you? Aren't you being really selfish? Why this baggage? You are such a higher conscious being. You have done so much of beautiful deeds in this life. Yes, you may not have walked on your soul purpose, but we, the soul healers, with bent hands, with bent heads, joined hands, promise you that in your journey of your soul, whatever you've chosen, we will help you walk on this path in this beautiful new life that you're now getting. Take your time. We are in no hurry as a family to let you go. This whole family, the healer family. You have to come back for each one of us to reinstate our faith, to amplify our faith in healing, in spirituality, in crystals, in the power of prayers, and to the thousands of souls who are praying for you now. You have created a grid of soul healers, and maybe that was your intention, and we are grateful to you for that. But enough damage has been done on this beautiful body. Now release the suffering and let her live the way she was before, and join her in your soul's purpose. You can't be so selfish. Release the ego right here, right now. And all of us, let's help the soul release the ego. See the ego failing out of Sunena's body. Like large droplets of water are going into Mother Earth. Just going. See that beautiful action of release. That water which is stored in a body, see that come drip by drip by drip. It's dripping and the water is just going into Mother Earth. Beautiful, magical. And now, you can get your heads Back up. And let's bow to our masters, our ancestors, our angels, our healers, our guardians, our spirit guides, our loved ones, our teachers, mentors, gurus, and all the light beings that have descended on us from multiple universes into this purple orb, healing us, healing Sunena, doing a profound release, soulful release of all excess pent up negative karmic baggage. Now let's rub our hands together. And this hand is laden with so much of love, light, healing. Bless it on every inch, fiber, molecule of your being. When you touch your body, your vibration is entering your entire being. Every single organ is getting beautifully cleansed, activated. Touch your entire being, your back, your under your arms, your lower back, upper back, your spinal cord, your hips. If you wish, wherever you're sitting, just get up. Touch your entire body. Because usually the hips are left behind because you're seated on them. Heal your hips, touch them. Touch all your joints. Any pain, any ache, see them release. Your hands. Every inch. And now open your eyes with a beautiful, big, shining smile. And if possible, few cameras. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. I am really grateful, really blessed that you all joined. And if there's anything that you felt, please unmute yourself and share. Pratima ji, first you. You have to unmute yourself.
That surge of energy I could feel going from me to, and when you said she's also with a red bindi, you know, I could connect very well because I too have a red bindi here. And I could just feel that we are one, and she's hugging me and I'm also hugging her tight. She's come to life and she's there with us.
Pratima ji, I can't tell you, you're a befitting image of Sunena right now.
Thank you so much.
Head combed back, black, little curls, bindi, the beautiful round face. So thank you for releasing on her behalf. You're a beautiful soul, and I feel so honored and blessed.
Thank you. Always there for you, for everyone who needs me.
Yes,
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. If anybody wants to share anything, you can. But if not, please now go on to our session. You don't have to switch on your cameras if you're not comfortable with so much of release. It's all right. In fact, let me also stop my video. It's fine.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Prachi.
Good morning, Ritu.
I've been hearing to your recording since 3 days of this healing going on, and I've been healing through my crystals and saying, I don't know how, somehow I'm feeling connected to her now, like my own sister.
Thank you.
And I'm so amazed, like you have such a compassionate soul who goes for everybody. I've seen it with my sister, I've seen now. You are such a beautiful soul. I salute to you.
So, you know what? Again, I think I come from selfish space, not realizing yesterday my Akashic teacher, she came down to the Ruby Hospital to open my brother-in-law's Akashic records. And in that, she channeled Sunena's energy. And she said that I have been Sunena's sister in her life. And I'm not kidding you, Ritu. I'm very, very fond of Sunena. But I didn't realize that I loved her the way it came about on Sunday when this entire thing happened. I never realized why I'm vibrating at such a high level, why I'm getting so worked up, why am I cranky, why is my energy so low on and high. It's because she's also been a soul sister. So I think you, me, we've been connected. So that's why you connect with Ruchika, with the Sunena, because you are also the sister of my soul sister, right? So thank you so much. Thank you for joining in this healing process. I really am grateful. All right, everybody.
Prachi, you're amazing. I
We
agree
all
to
amazing,
this.
but thank you. I accept your love with a lot of. I'm not going to reject any love because I think we all need love, and I'm
You
grateful.
deserve it. You deserve.
And now, my dear friends, today is the last day of our beautiful book, which is absolutely magical. Same soul, many bodies. And yesterday, my little Gayatri, which is my Sunaina's daughter, she took me to Sunaina's room. Mummy had bought a book, and I saw on her bookshelf, Same Soul, Many Bodies. And I'm like, oh my God, we are reading this. So I asked her, did Mama read it? Nah, Mama doesn't like reading. So I said, you read it to Mama when she comes home. So it's so beautiful that this book that we are reading today, concluding, is also the day when I see that book on our shelf. So how wonderful, right? Magics happen. My Gayatri is going to take my work forward because she's going to be reading it to her mother now, because she's an avid reader. She's got her Thais genes. All right. Happy times ahead. Chapter number 14. We're now going to read about Gary's regression and progression. It's about the future. And I'm not amazed. We're looking at Sunaina's future now, and this is the chapter which is unfolding. So how magical. All right. In all my books, I've tried to convey the astonishing impact of the regression sessions, the effect of the miraculous visions, not only physically, but psychically. The sense of mystery or magic or transcendence that both the patient and I experience. How much more wondrous is it that when we travel to the future to see not what has happened, but what will happen, what will be? Such journeys continue to fill me with awe and caution. I'm wary of leading my patients to realms that might be imaginary and have them base their life decisions on what we see, on what they see. And I stress to them the danger of illusion or fantasy. One caveat when conceptualizing about the future is the possibility of projecting one's own subconscious wishes to create future scenarios. For psychoanalysts, such scenarios are vitally important because whatever the deeper mind creates is grist for the therapeutic mill and is significant to the creator. In this sense, future memories are like dreams. There's often a mixture of symbols and metaphor, deep-seated hopes and wishes, actual memories and precognitive experiences. In other words, just because the patient sees the future doesn't mean that it is the real future. Nevertheless, the immediacy and strength of the memories can instantly improve the present and future course of the patient's life. To therapists, these changes are even more important than the capacity to validate the material. Still, many near future visions have proven true. You've seen the results in several of the cases in this book. And if we learn to infallibly distinguish between truth and fantasy, something that will probably not happen in this generation, but perhaps the next, then all of us who see into the future, whether we use the material therapeutically or not, can improve that future by improving ourselves. And this is so beautifully articulated. And the golden immortality that is ours eventually will arrive more quickly, and we will traverse verdant fields and shining skies to the one. I believe we can see the future because some part of us responds to the fact that past, present, and future are one, occurring in a simultaneous time, quite different from the longitudinal years, months, days, hours, and minutes by which we measure time on Earth. Quite literally, the future is now, and even on this planet, we can shape our nows by our actions. That is why it is so important to prepare not only for the rest of our lives, but for all our lives to come for immortality. The future seems to be a flexible destination. There exist a multitude of possible futures and probable futures across a vast statistical spectrum. Our individual immediate futures in this life and those shortly to come depend to a large extent, as we have seen, on our choices and actions in the present. Our long-term futures are collective futures, the future of our planet, which may exist forever, but which we may destroy, though by destroying, if it will not stop our progress towards the one. Depend on the cumulative decisions of all people. What those decisions are can be seen in the view of the future some 1,000 years from now. The closer we get to a particular future, the more accurate we can be in predicting it. It is important to look 1,000 years and more ahead because the earth today is becoming dangerous. And perhaps if we apply more wisdom to our decisions because of what we see, we can alter the direction of the future starting now. When I work with the groups who attend my seminars, I progress them to the distant future, into discrete time periods, 100 years from now, 500 years, 1,000 years or more. I want to see if there's agreement in the visions, for if they match, there is a good chance there is truth in them, that the world will look and feel much as they foretell. My experiments are still young, but I have found such striking similarities in 90% of them, and more and more. I've come to believe that there is an excellent chance, scores of lifetimes, hence that a glorious world awaits us. Amen. Amen. Tathastu. Beautiful. I use individual progressions for therapy. As I noted, I did so only recently and with some reluctance, for I was concerned about self-fulfilling prophecy in the unstable patient. Still, some of my patients were spontaneously going into the future anyways and benefiting from it. And I began to use a technique, leading patients near to their deaths without letting them actually view it. If we see the end of our lives, perhaps there are 4 more steps we can take now, more choices we can opt for as we proceed towards the next life. Some people overrode my therapeutic suggestion and went to the actual deaths, but they were strong enough to handle it. Those that weren't strong invariably didn't. I found that people made wiser decisions and better choices when they saw ahead. They looked at the forks in the road and said, if I take this path, or this path, what would be the differences? As we make choices now, we're constantly changing our futures. But overall, out of the infinity of futures that face us, there are one or more probable futures, and maybe we have a 5% chance of going this way, a 10% chance of going another, and only a 0.0001% chance of a third. It's a system of probabilities and possibilities that we're constantly altering. Remember that all our individual futures are part of a universal arc. When those myriad individual futures coalesce with the higher spirit in the far future, we will reach our goal. For now, it is choices that matter. John, for example, saw a fork in the road that determined a compassionate present life hugely different from the one he was currently leading. Evelyn saw a future where deep-seated hatred no longer existed, and she was able to begin her path to that state in the present. When we see the future, it doesn't mean that we are forced into it, hence the forks in so many instances. There are still choices, and it's not too late to make them. In both John and Evelyn's cases and others I've already described, we regressed before we went ahead. Going forward without going back was essential in Gary's therapy, however, for he came to me in crisis. The night before he called, he had had a dream of himself pointing a gun at his own head. His fingers slowly pulling the trigger. It seemed appropriate. He told me when he described it after I had taken it, his history, death would mean the end of despair. Gary was a physically healthy man of 40, whose antiques business was about to collapse because of the success of Antiques Roadshow on the television. He assumed that a rage for high-priced silver paintings and furniture would sweep the nation. So he expanded his inventory to the point where he had to rent an extra warehouse to contain it. But either because his taste was poor or because he had overestimated the market, he attracted few additional buyers. When the loans he had taken to buy the stock came due, he couldn't pay them. His partner sued him for mismanagement of funds. He had to fire his staff. His children, twin boys, were about to enter college, and he couldn't pay their tuition. His adored wife, Constance, who had been just diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. A lawyer suggested he file for bankruptcy, but to Gary, the idea was unthinkable. He told me all this in a rush, his gaunt face drawn in grey, his eyes filled with sorrow, hence the dream. You can see why it was so powerful. Why is the idea of bankruptcy unthinkable, I asked. It seems to me the only reasonable solution, because it proves my father right about what? My boy, you'll never amount to anything. He'd said it once. He said it 1,000 times. He's deceased for 12 years. But you remember his words. I'm haunted by them. My father was a strong man. Dr. Weiss, My mother died when I was 3 and he brought me up alone. He was a construction worker, a hard hat, but he never went out drinking with his buddies, never found another woman, didn't look for one, never did anything to save care for me, worry about me, save his money for me. By God, he said I'd be the first in the family to go to college. He wanted me to be a lawyer, a doctor, a scientist. I'd make him proud. I tried, really I did. But I couldn't master math or chemistry or physics. And my mind just isn't logical. I could no more be a lawyer than a construction worker. It doesn't take logical mind to be a construction worker. No, but it takes strength. He stood and spread his arms. Look at me. What I saw was an ordinary man who could be described as average build, average height. It wasn't his set that prevented him from physical work, it was his self-image. I was interested in art, he continued, Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Renaissance. In my sophomore year at Tulane, I decided to major in art history, but it wasn't until my junior year that I told my father. What happened? His lips curled in rage. My boy, you'll never amount to anything. He called me a sissy, a pansy, an intellectual. There could be nothing worse. I betrayed him, shattered his hopes, was proof he had wasted his life. I wish I'd had a girl, he said. To him, being a girl was almost as bad as being an intellectual. Did he disown you? Was. He kept paying my tuition, my room, and my board. He said he had nothing worse to do with his money, that he was too old to start a life. When I came home for summers and holidays, he was cordial. Cordial? As though I was a stranger. But I suppose I was. After I started my business, I tried to pay him back, but he tore up the first check I handed him and I never tried again. Making me guilty was his revenge and he succeeded at it. You were under terrific pressure, I said. It's hard to pretend to be something you're not, even harder to be despised for who you are. His look of self-pity was testament to the truth of this. But you made a life for yourself. Many others with fathers like yours couldn't have done that. Some achievement, he said bitterly. Face it, I'm a failure. Business failure is no disgrace. Happens all the time. You'll pull out of it. Meanwhile, you have a wife who loves you. Who says she does? I was struck by the emphasis in his words. You don't think it's true? He was utterly despondent. How could it be? He was in such despair that I felt it useless to point out that she must have loved him when she married him, and he almost surely loved him still, or at least that part of him that had attracted her in the first place. What's a major sign that she doesn't love you? A wildness came into his expression. When I told you I wanted to kill myself, she begged me not to. I was momentarily stunned. That proves she doesn't love you, I said at last. If she did, she'd let me do it. He gave a strange little laugh. But it doesn't matter. I'll do it no matter how hard she tries to stop me. When? How about tomorrow? That suits you? Suits me fine. Threats of suicide amongst the most serious issues a psychiatrist faces. That Gary had come to see me meant, at the very least, he was ambivalent about his decision, but his dream had scared him. Perhaps he was merely trying to shock me or dramatize me. The degree of misery, however, argued the desire was there, and I knew I couldn't take no chances. I'll have to hospitalize you. He stared at me. I suddenly devoid of all expression. No way. You're in danger of dying. It's not a danger, it's a resolution. Not by anyone except you. You already told me your wife has tried to stop you. I'll bet your boys would try to stop you too. The boys are away. Then think of the shock of their grief. They'd say they were well rid of me. They say I'm worthless, and they're right. They'd be better off without me. Again, arguments seemed futile. If I could shake him from his wish, then I would have to hospitalize him, but I could get him to reach a higher perspective and to visualize the consequence of his suicide. I'll make a deal with you. What deal? If you spend 2 sessions with me letting me try to help you, I won't hospitalize you. And if I still feel the same way after sessions, you won't try to stop me. That couldn't, of course, be part of the deal. Let's just see what we can achieve, I said. I want you to visit the future. When Gary was under deep hypnosis, I instructed him to look at the 2 paths diverging from his place in the present. One path would show him the after effects of suicide. The other was a path of positive action, love of self and life. We chose to look first at the path of suicide. Immediately, his eyes filled with tears. I was wrong. Constance did love me. I see her grieving. It is many years after my death. The boys are grieving too. I was so selfish that I didn't even consider them when I pulled the trigger. But they had to leave college and look after Constance in her illness. He paused, and when he spoke again, it was with a tone of amazement. The funny thing is, They all feel responsible for my death. The guilt is consuming them. They think they could have protected me from myself, saved me if they had been more diligent. I can't believe it. It was my hand, not theirs, or the gun. And Constance had done all she could. She pleaded with me, and I didn't believe her, and I went ahead. The reaction isn't so strange, I said quietly. In many cases, the survivors feel responsible. His tears began to fall. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. So sorry. I didn't mean to hurt them. Yes, I was the one in pain. Suicide is not an act of altruism. It is an act of anger or despair. I would point this out to Gary when I brought him back, but it was important for him to know more about the future. I led him even further into his next life. His fingers gripped the sides of the chair until the knuckles were white. There's a man standing, holding a gun at his head. I can see his finger tightening on the trigger. Is the man you? Yes. With the gun to your head, and it was in the dream you reported when you first came to see me. His body relaxed. A dream, yes. That's what it is, a dream. Does it mean you want to kill yourself? Yes, I deserve to die. I've been having an affair. So you're married? Of course. And I work for my father-in-law. An affair doesn't seem a reason for suicide. You don't understand. If my wife finds out, she'll tell her father and I lose everything, job, family, position, my friends, my self-esteem. I could stand the humiliation. The affair is secret. Why does your wife have to know? Because my lover has written a letter telling her everything. I've broken up with her, you see. But she's gone crazy. The letter is her revenge. But the affair is over. You ended it. Why not just admit it and apologize to your wife before she gets a letter? In time, she'll forgive you. Maybe she won't tell her father. Not a chance. She never loved me as much as she loves him. In fact, I don't think she loved me at all. So she'll be glad if you kill yourself. There'll be celebration. She'll invite her father and her friends. His bitterness was as deep as it was in the present. Does the dream seem familiar? I asked. The question startled him. He thought for a while and then said hesitantly, You mean like a recurrent dream? No, I don't think so. Only, no. He shook his head. Did you, in fact, kill yourself? He frowned. There was another silence. Finally, he said, I don't know. I can't see. Oh God, I don't know what to do. He remembered his future dream in his present life and he came back to it. Does this mean I'll have the old feelings of humiliation and despair over and over again? Is that what it feels like? It seems I'll want to kill myself forever, not that no matter my life, that's a pattern it'll take. Until you're ready to learn, I agreed it's like Greek tragedy. If you kill yourself now, you're destined to face the situation over and over again. When you fail to realize was that the man in your dreams and the man you saw in your progression, the man with the gun at the head, wasn't actually you, but only a part of you, the self-loathing part, the societal part. He shuddered as though suddenly chilled. If I took the other road, what would that be like? Ah, good question. It's there, you'll be able to learn. It took longer than usual for him to be hypnotized, perhaps because he was so fearful that the second path too would lead to despair. At length, he found himself in the near future, having chosen not to kill himself after all. I did go into bankruptcy, he reported, but I won the lawsuit. There were really no grounds for it. And Constance, totally supportive. So were the kids, so were my friends. I think they felt that all of us make mistakes and they forgave me for mine. In fact, they didn't feel I needed forgiveness. I was their husband and their father and their friend, not infallible, not God. How did you cope financially? We sold the house, got a smaller one. I was able to pay off my outstanding debts, to say nothing of the medical bills. The boys stayed in school. They had to bunk in the same room when they came home, but they didn't seem to mind. How's your work now? Rare coins, he smiled. They were a hobby of mine, now they're my vocation. Doing well? Splendidly. Thank you. I've hired back some of the people I had to let go. They were happy to come and even left jobs to join me. I guess they didn't think I was a bad boss or a failure. I told them the truth when I fired them. One of them said he admired my honesty and compassion. Of course, my antiques business also started well, so who knows? I progressed him further towards the end of his life. There were grandchildren. He saw my Constance died many years ago, but I was able to comfort her in her last days, and we continued to love each other until the end. He sighed. It's been a good life, all in all. I knew, given his change of heart and mind, that his next one would be better. In it, Gary was a scientist doing research in plant physiology, specifically creating species that were nutritionally complete so that people could healthily embrace vegetarianism as an alternative to eating animal of higher consciousness. There were no business scenario at all, no adultery, no despondency, not a glimmer of thought or suicide. There was no question of which path he would choose when I brought him back to the present. He would avoid the first path, he realized, because he could choose wisely in the present. Indeed, Gary's life is thus far developing exactly as he had foreseen in the life path he'd chosen. His family was continued to love and support him. He won his lawsuit. He started his own new business. A gallery of modern artists, one's vision of the future are rarely 100% accurate. And new drugs have relieved some of Constance's symptoms, though both are resigned to the reality of her disease. A few days ago, he called me with some news. One of his sons had decided to leave college to become a rock musician. What do you think about it? I asked. I hate it. What did you tell him? I said, my boy, you'll amount to something no matter what you decide to do. Wow, good transformation, right? While I believe there are folks in all our lives and the progression into the future can help us decide which path to take, I also believe that there are folks in the life of the world that the more we can see and understand them, the better chance we have of preventing the earth's destruction. That is why I've used my seminars as a means of prophecy. Again, there is no way to verify what I've found. And in time, I'm sure I will develop better methods for refining what those who have ventured into the far future have reported back. What I know for sure is that there is a consensus on the future from my seminar attendees, by now numbering well over 2,000, and I'm able to offer hesitatingly, tentatively, the broad outline of a scenario I will continue to explore. In my group progressions, as I've noted, I try to take the attendees to 3 stops on the journey to the future 100 years, 500 years, and 1,000 years from now. This is not exact. People always have the freedom to explore any realm at any time. But as a guideline, they and I find it helpful. What have we found? In 100 years or even 200 years, the world will be pretty much the same as it is now. There have been natural and man-made calamities, tragedies, disasters, but not on a global level. There are more toxins, more crowding, more pollution, more global warming. There are fewer virulent diseases and better methods for growing and harvesting food and so forth. But to paraphrase a Stephen Sondheim song, we are still here, virtually intact. After this period, it could be a near as 300 years or as far away 600 years. They will begin a second dark ages. In the sessions, people seem to be foretelling ominous events close to the earlier date. Perhaps this is because the future is not fixed and the blackness is advancing more quickly because of the negative thoughts and actions of many people. So there is still time to reverse it through our cumulative efforts. This middle period is by far the most difficult to pinpoint. I don't know what caused the darkness, thus the need for refinement. But we see a vastly diminished population. The expansion may be a decline in fertility rate because of poisons in the environment. Already there's ample scientific evidence that sperm mortality rates are decreasing, but viruses, poisons, asteroids, meteors, wars, plagues, and as an undreamed of calamity may also be responsible. Some of us won't reincarnate in that time. Our consciousness may have changed enough so that we'll be watching from another place, from another dimension. We might not have to be here anymore. Our futures may be more progressed individually from than the future of the planet. Some of us may reincarnate in other dimensions or worlds. In Messages from the Masters, I wrote about a concern that the world was moving from one-room schoolhouse, where first through 12th graders were crowded together, into 2 different schools, elementary and middle. But the high school isn't here, and we won't be until we stop the process of pollution, destruction, and death. Some people have surely reached high school and others college, but they're already in a different realm and are arriving in larger and larger numbers. They've reached the point where they don't have to reincarnate on earth anymore, and perhaps the high schoolers are helping us from afar. Those in college are focused on graduate school, the place where they coalesce and become part of the one. And then to the idyllic, fertile, peaceful land that Hugh saw even before I started group progressions that many others have described since. Only few attendees have pointed out the clouds that Hugh traveled through before reaching the bright land. Perhaps it is because we are in those dark clouds now, and the attendees in the middle of them haven't been able to recognize their existence as Hugh did. But they all see the brightness. They all feel the peace. They all come back transformed. If their cumulative vision is powerful enough and others join them in preparing for the lives to come, rather than hating each other, killing each other, and poisoning the environment and the souls, the ideal realm will become manifest. And we will get to place on this world so like the other side that bridging them will be easy. Since I am mortal as well as immortal, my present concern is with the now and the difficult times to come, for we are not forced into that future, even though our behavior seems to be limiting our options. Yet I'm optimistic. In time, I think the people's collective consciousness that yearns for a more peaceful and idyllic world will achieve it. To do it, each of us must remember that our fate is to be immortal. Alas, too many of us don't know this, or in the press of everyday events forget it. This book, I hope, will act as a reminder. I'd like to read the acknowledgement before we conclude the book. My heartfelt and enduring thanks go to Richard Marrick, whose expertise and support contributed mightily to this book. He's a true friend. The staff at Free Press has been superb throughout. Fred Hills has been invaluable since my earliest day at Simon & Schuster. He's a fantastic editor whose guidance and advice have graced my books. My deepest gratitude also goes to Carissa Hayes, Elizabeth Keenan, Suzanne Donahue, Kirsa Reen, and all the others. To my extraordinary and wonderful agent, Johnny Evans, at the William Morris Agency, I am eternally grateful. And to my family, my soulmates on this life's journey and many other lifetimes as well. My supreme joy is knowing that we will always be together to the very end of lifetime. And this, my dear friends, is the page about Dr. Weiss, and I have good news to share. I am going to Dr. Weiss in October 2024 to work under him and become a certified past life regressionist. The course is for 7 to 10 days, and I am going. And I took the decision yesterday. My cousin Mukhtar Asogi, a healer, some of you know her, is also certified under him. And I said, Didi, I have to do it. These books have opened doors and I just have to learn past life regression. And I have manifested this. I haven't signed up for that because she's going to send me the link. But my dream is coming true. I know it. The manifestation will come with all your love, with your beautiful guidance, with your blessings. And thank you, Ritu, for the congratulations in advance. I am excited because this past life regression with you all, these beautiful 90 days have been magical. Acha. Tomorrow is Sunday, so all of us are not meeting because Sundays are holidays. Monday, we shall start our beautiful book. And this beautiful book will open doorways into our healing even more. And what I also want to tell each one of you is that I am so grateful. I can't even tell you how grateful I am because you all are magical beings. You all have done so much. And I am absolutely amazed. Absolutely amazed. So great. This is who we are. Tomorrow we are starting this book called Through Time into Healing. So we had talked about 9 books, right? No, 8 books, right? So 6 books are done with today's session. And while I'm speaking to you, I'm also sharing the same book right now. So all of you, you'll have the book with you, prepared if you want to read, though we always read it together. And let's start this on Monday morning. Have a magical Saturday. And I request you once again to send healing to Sunena at a 9 a.m. today. Those of you who are going to join me, please join us in that Mahamrityunjay part. And if I know you can't have a havan, but maybe light a candle and see her karmic deaths just getting burnt. I appreciate your guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The book is already on your WhatsApp group. Thank you, my love. Thank you, everybody. And
Prachi, there'll be a link for us to join the Mahamrityunjay part.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, thanks.
I will do
Thank
that.
you.
But I will do that with the permission of my Taiji and my children here and Surena and family. If they
Definitely.
are comfortable, then I'll share the
Yeah.
link. You'll be able to
Okay.
see it from a distance. And if they're not, then you can join us in spirit.
Okay, definitely.
And just right now, I'm going to be posting on WhatsApp group the Mahamrityunjay part, the image of that, and also the chant that we are going to be playing.
Thank you so much.
And I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you, everybody. You have helped me in my journey to be with Sunaina. You have helped me in so many ways that you have no idea. And I'm very grateful to everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Prachi. Take care of yourself also.
I am absolutely taken care of. After meeting Sunaina yesterday, I am in a very happy plane. My
Yes, you're sounding so good. You know, we are also feeling good because you were down, we were down.
no, कल मैं इसको देखी ना आंटी प्रतिमा जी at a
Yeah.
session in the Akashic healing session while I was driving to Delhi to Pune from Bombay. So when I saw her, I'm like, chalo, at least I get to meet her. At least I get to see her. And then when I
Wonderful.
described her to Supriya, she's like, हाँ भाभी बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है. Then Kunal Bhai and everybody heard. They must have realized कि, you know, chalo, कुछ तो है types. You know, if she wants to heal, just
Definitely.
let's give her permission because she's also the bhabhi. So,
Right.
and also the healer, I think Richa said that we were sisters in past life. We are connected. So maybe that also helped break some barriers.
Wonderful.
So moving on well. Thank
You're
you.
magical. You're magical.
We all are magical. And thank you for being
Absolutely.
part of my Sangha. I love it. I'll
Yeah.
see you all on Monday
Monday.
morning for sure. And aaj
Yeah.
ka 9 o'clock, I'll reach you all through the WhatsApp group of Soul's Journey.
Okay.
Lots of love and light. I'll see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.